To me, inclusion means the engagement of fairness and equality while embracing one's value and uniqueness, minus any posing limitations or barriers. As for Chase, it's the intentional effort in creating an environment where the culture of collaboration, empowerment, and respect is believed in, upheld, and committed to. I think inclusion in the workplace looks like an environment that recognizes and advocates for the employee, regardless of their differences. And it's one where there's trust, the kind of trust that enables a working environment to be inviting, functionable, innovative, and operative. I think that one of the main misconceptions involving inclusion is the perception of diversity as it relates to unconscious and conscious biases. If anyone would ask me to share previous experiences regarding diversity and inclusion, I'd be more than happy to because I believe that it will help position them in taking the necessary steps to gaining access to the success that they, seek or how they define it, or maybe have a greater appreciation for those who've had to take a more distinguished approach in getting to where they are. Um, a positive experience for me was having a new unbiased manager who knew nothing about me or my work. Among many things, he took the time in watching and understanding everything that I did on a daily basis. He identified my strengths and he challenged me to take on an unfamiliar skill set within a new platform. And as a result, I had free reign in what I was assigned to do. I became highly visible to leadership and I was reaching peaks within areas without plateauing that I didn't think would be possible. A negative experience that I've had was starting a new job where I needed to take part in weekly leadership meetings. After building my confidence to delivering updates, I was, I guess you could say, pulled aside by my manager at the time, and I was told to not speak the way that I do in the meetings, which was too articulate in manner. And they also said that they needed to have a thesaurus to understand me. So that was uh, pretty insulting to say the least. But as a result, of that and prior experiences, I struggled with inclusion after being told by leadership that I would never be a leader. I became anxious and self-conscious and I started questioning my abilities and my worth around that time until I one day met a woman who looked like me. She spoke like me. She was the same age as I. She was educated like me, and she was an executive titled woman. She was somewhat of an executive title, and that's when my perception of me turned around because I was highly inspired. And once I, pretty much turned a leg of things, others began to recognize my passion and my drive and my work ethic through the eye of adversity and what it is that I can do and who I am. For some, I think that people struggle with inclusion because there's a fear of rejection or possibly a identity threats that may invade. And for others, I also think that there's a fear of or a not welcoming of change from what one has been used to doing or being around. Chase definitely influenced my perception on diversity and inclusion as it was the first company that I've worked for to inspire and encourage me in learning how it applies to me and in how I can advocate for others. As a result, I am now a diversity and inclusion contributor for our shared solutions group. On a firm-wide level, I feel that inclusion means ensuring that purpose-led and values-driven steps are addressed within the global communities of where one works within the firm. Whereas the individual level, that encompasses more of a personal meaning in that it takes on a sense of belonging. In terms of Chase's efforts, I really appreciate how Chase is taking on the initiative to not only supporting the awareness of workplace inequalities and backing the need for inclusion, but also taking a stance against inequality by listening to our voices, identifying the issues, and taking action to fixing it and figuring things out. It's funny because in the beginning, I didn't plan to be here long, but I actually do feel that I have a sense of belonging here at Chase. The clarity of direction and growth has been instilled in me by mentors and sponsors who truly have my best interest in mind, but I couldn't do it if I didn't put in the work. I think I'm well equipped in what I need to be more included or even more involved. I just have to continue in this stride in doing so. And if there's anything or any advice that I could give to someone seeking inclusiveness within the workplace, I'd say not to allow fear to get in your way. Instead, hold your management and leadership teams accountable to creating change in the workplace. Be that change agent and don't be afraid to speak aloud. My name is Latoya Moore Jones. I feel like I belong where there's safety, purpose, and appreciation in my contributions. I feel included when my abilities are recognized and ideas are implemented. I am accountable. You are accountable. We all are accountable for our culture of respect and inclusion. I am accountable for our culture of respect and inclusion.